My review of the Twilight Saga, the films, not the books. I'm planning on reading the first book, and then I'm going to review it, see how, because I've heard a lot of things about the book, that, it's not very good, the writing's very bad. I've heard that she used the word muttered 1,500 times in one of the books. I'm not kidding, I heard this. So yeah, I'm going to read the first book, just planning on reading it soon. I've got to get out of the library first. I tried to get it today, but so this is my view of the films. I haven't seen the clips because, I've seen the trailer and clips from Eclipse. Just doesn't make much sense to me. I might watch it. I have seen Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2 twice, just for the pure comedy factor of it. I don't get it. That's what. And I don't get I've seen the first film, but I can't remember much of it. But I watched New Moon on Thursday this week, and it didn't. I was able to go downstairs and not care if I'd missed a bit. I did put it back because obviously it would make sense if I was watching the end and didn't know going during the middle. But to be honest, I went downstairs and said to my dad, "I'm watching the shittest film I've ever watched in my life." So, yeah, it kind of sucked. Basically, I'm going to start with the first film, and then, the first film, basically, she meets Edward. It's all kind of the acting, the story doesn't make. She's told to keep away from him. He says she's told it's not a good relationship. That they shouldn't be together. And she just goes for it, and she just ignores everyone. She immediately gets friends, which you wouldn't do when you moved to a new school. When I was in year 10, I moved to a new school, and I knew some people there, so it was okay. But I didn't instantly make friends. I've always kind of had trouble making friends. When I went to high school, I didn't have any friends at all. Basically, when I went for my first year without any friends, I sat there, on my own, just having lunch. It was a horrible time. I didn't make friends instantly. I lost all my friends and didn't make any. When I went to my second high school, and I did have someone I knew, and I was able to integrate, but I didn't instantly become massively popular like Bella, which I don't understand, because you wouldn't become instantly popular. She's instantly liked, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I know what it's like to move to a new school. No, you don't make friends, that didn't make sense. And Edward, he's watching her sleep. What's going on there? I mean, that's stalkerish, right? This is a point that I've seen over and over again on the internet, and he's watching her sleep. He's broken into her house, and he's watching her sleep. That's a criminal offence. Especially in England, that's definitely illegal. If someone broke into my room right now, they would be arrested. I wouldn't be saying, "Oh, that's romantic and sweet." I'd be calling the police. I doubt that my parents would be on the phone to the police. If Bella's dad is a police officer, right? He's a law enforcement officer. He should be coming in and saying, "Get out! You're under arrest." He knows what's going on. I'm not sure if he does. I watched him a while ago, so I can't quite remember. But if he knows this is going on, and he's a police officer, shouldn't he be getting in there and arresting Edward's ass? Edward is basically committing a criminal offence by breaking into our room and watching her sleep. That's basically. I can't remember what the word is. But there's a word. It's illegal to do that, right? Surely it's illegal to watch people sleep. I can look it up right now, but it's definitely illegal. That's, it's like putting a camera in someone's room and watching the film. That's it is a criminal offence. And there's Jacob. I can't remember much about him. And then he's not in the first film. If he's watching her sleep, that's disgusting. And everyone's there. And also, if it's a very forbidden relationship, because he's 108, right? Or however, is he 108 in the first film? And she's what, 16, 17? 16. And they're in a relationship. That's 100-year age. That's like 90 years. That's kind of perfect. I know he's been frozen as a 17-year-old. But he's 108 years old. He was alive in if someone can explain this to me, how it's acceptable for this 100-year-old guy to be dating this 16-year-old girl, feel free to enlighten me on this this fact that I don't understand. Because how I see it, that's wrong. I mean, 80 is a number, but 90, 80, nearly 100 years, that's a bit perverted, to be honest. In my opinion, that's disgusting. 30 years, but even that's a bit, odd. But 100 years, that's disgusting. That's paedophilia. That's like too much in her. That's paedophilia. That's the word for it. Just remember the word. It's paedophilia. He shouldn't. They shouldn't be dating. He wants to suck her blood. How does he know when she's on her period? Seriously, they should, and everyone's really accepting of the relationship as well, which I find a bit weird. Like, they were saying no. I mean, Rosalie, obviously she's a bit objected to it, but they just accept her into the family as well, which I find really odd. I don't get it. Which I have watched the film a long time ago, but they just seem to accept her into the family. And at the end of the film, she's just lying there. Obviously, she can't really do much because she can't get that. But she sort of lets Edward do everything, which is really... And he's a bit of an abusive arsehole anyway, because he's controlling her. But this continues, like, he's controlling her. And then at the end of the film, she's like, thank you. I'm like, it's his fault, because he got her involved with vampires. Because she got herself involved with them. But, it's like... anyway, and then... So that was Twilight, which I thought sucked. The acting kind of sucked for me. I mean, Kristen Stewart can't act to save her life. In that bit, and Robert Pattinson, who played Edward, didn't think much of him. But then I thought, I saw him as Cedric in Harry Potter. So yeah, but I'll get on to Edward and Bella later. Just go how disgusting they are, and their actors who played them. And then there was the Moon, which I also thought was sucked eggs really badly. At the beginning, at the beginning of the film, Edward, they break up. Well, Edward dumps her because Carlisle, Carlisle isn't aging, and she said, "Oh, I'll come with you. I'll go tell Charlie." I mean, she doesn't call him, but she said, "I'm gonna go tell Charlie. I'll come with you." He said, "No, you're not coming with me. You're not coming with me. I don't want you there." She won't take the hint. She's like, I'm coming. And then he's like, "You're not coming." And she just can't take the hint because she's dumb and very, very annoying. But then he just goes, and she runs off, and she falls over and such. I'm like, he's just dumped you for your own safety. He's dumped her for her own safety, and she's crying about it. It's for her own safety, isn't it? It's kind of dangerous to be involved with vampires, and all she says is change me. Through this whole film as well. I'll get to that later. And then Jacob comes on the scene and they start getting involved, which really annoys me. But before this bit, while Jacob's on the scene as well, she's very depressed. He's done for her own safety and she's so depressed. And she sits around for months moping, which I don't get. She's got friends who she pushes them away. They'd be there for her. She's lucky to have friends that close into school anyway. I didn't have any friends to go and mope to when I was upset. I used to go and mope to my parents. I didn't have any friends to mope to. If I had friends, I would let them support me. I was bullied when I was in, obviously in year 7 and 8, or up till I left. I didn't have any friends to support me most of that time. So I had my parents. I understand her being depressed because he's left her. And she's got her dad, but her dad, she's waking up screaming in the middle. He's left her for her own safety, and she's screaming about it. I don't get it. If he's leaving me for my own safety, and I knew this because he's not going to change me into a vampire, I think I would be okay with it. I think I would have got over it before Bella did. And her dad's like, "You're going to go and live with your mum," because obviously he's driving her mental. And I can understand. She calls him Johnny as well. And then she's like mucking around with Jacob, which is very disgusting. Which in itself is a bit odd anyway. And they suddenly get really close and like 2 minutes of the film, which I found weird. Because in the first film there wasn't, and then there was just, and then she jumped off a cliff, and Jacob saved her life. And then she hears that Edward has to go and kill himself because Edward thinks she's dead. And she's like, oh, let's go to Italy. What? Jacob just saved your life and you're pissing off to Italy? Are you kidding me? This film is shit. I'm just thinking, what is going on? He's just saved your life. And it's like, sorry, I'm pissing off to Italy now. Just to go see my sparkling boyfriend's life. So he can do everything for me. Because I like to do nothing. Because I'm stupid. Very, very, very stupid. I mean, like, Bella, you have no brain. What is going on here? I'm just thinking, I'm going to fast forward through this to get to the end, because this is, I think I did fast forward through some of it actually, because it was so, I did try to watch it all just so I know what's happening, just see how crap it was. Honestly, I wanted to turn it off. I mean, it was okay, but there were some points that did. Most of it sucked for me. I think the acting, the story behind it is kind of plausible, but the acting just killed it for me. The acting in this film. But back to the story. I don't get. And then she said, he's sparkling. I'm like, oh god, not again. The sparkling doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, vampires don't sparkle, right? Please. I catch fire there. Sparkling, and then they're all happy, and she says, "Tell me, Alice promised to set her fire," and she's like happy because she's going to be a vampire. I'm thinking, great, not again, because she goes on about this point 100 times, and so she's like, change me. I'm thinking, shut up before I kill you, because honestly, she's driving me mad over this. I'm like, do you have to keep saying this in every scene? That's all she says is change me into a vampire. And Rosalie, they're having a vote at the end, and they're all voting yes. And Rosalie says, no, it's not life I would choose. She's making it clear that being a vampire is not a life you want. And Bella's like, no, it's not going to change. And then at the end, Edward said he'll change her himself if she marries him. I mean, that's blackmail. That is definitely blackmail, right? He'll do it if you marry him, so he can control you more. He controlled her. He ran off. Well, that's not how to say it. This love story doesn't make any sense, right? And the acting in this film, Kirsten Swan, her facial expression is basically this. She never closes her mouth. It's basically like this the whole film. I don't want to keep seeing your teeth, love. Close your mouth. Smile. Depressed. This is smiling. This is smiling. This is depressed. This is Bella. Happy. Sad. Depressed. Unhinged. It's just, I'm not an actress. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an actress. But basically, if I paid for that in a cinema and I still got that acting, I would have been pissed off. And the same for Rob Pattinson, because his line delivery is appalling. I mean, he doesn't seem to have any emotion behind what he's saying. But that is because he hates Twilight. I have heard this before. Okay, so that's New Moon, which I thought was, I mean, Jacob's okay, and I kind of get why he's better to be with Edward, because Edward basically wants to kill you. Jacob loves you. She has no brain. I mean, obviously, you know, Jacob, he's probably the better man out of the two. There's Eclipse. I haven't seen Eclipse, but I know what happens in it. She gets engaged. She's engaged to Edward, and she decides to kiss Jacob, which, you cheating bitch. She's engaged to him, and she's cheating on him, and basically, she's kissing Jacob. I suppose I was my wife cheating. Someone kiss. Yeah. And this is the newborn stuff. I haven't actually watched the film, so I can't really comment on it. And then it's Breaking Dawn, and I have watched this film twice. Both of the when I watched the first film, I did watch it all. I have watched it all, believe me. And the story makes no sense to me. Basically, she doesn't smile when she gets married at the beginning of the film to Edward. And she doesn't even smile. The actress playing her doesn't smile. She doesn't smile. She's like, oh shit, I'm getting married. I'm not going to smile because I'm a Mary Sue. I'm going to that later. She doesn't smile. Oh, believe me, she didn't smile. It's a fucking... And then she sees Jacob, she's dancing with him, and he's saying, don't have sex. And then she's talking about having sex with Edward. And he says, don't do it, it'll kill you. And she knows it'll kill her. She's stupid. And then they go on their honeymoon. And they try to have sex, which I would say is impossible because he's a vampire. And this means he has no blood in his body. So he has no blood in his penis. There's no blood in there. There's no... You have blood in here, it pumps around your body. And when you have an erection, blood goes to your penis. So you get an erection, it goes in your penis. And it makes it go up. And however that shape goes. And obviously and this thing is, when you die, when you become a vampire, all your bodily fluids stop. So everything stops. Your blood, your piss, you have to piss apparently. Although you must have to pee. Because of that blood. Anyway. I might have to look that up. And get back to you on that. So, because they're drinking, so there wouldn't be any sperm. Because all his body fluids have stopped. So there won't be any sperm in there. Surely there won't be any sperm in there. So he wouldn't be reproducing. So when they have sex, when he destroys his bedroom, by the way, which is also very weird and kind of creepy, the sex scenes are very weird. But you don't really see much because the camera goes off. Also, it's like a 12, so they can't show, you know, them tonguing and her giving him a BJ and other stuff. You couldn't, you know. But then she gets pregnant straight away, which obviously the fetus is fast growing, which is explained later in the film. But it doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, how did he get pregnant if he's got no blood in his penis to get an erection and no sperm in his testes? How on earth did he get her pregnant? Seriously, how? I would like to ask Maya this question: how did Edward get Bella pregnant if he has no blood in his penis and no sperm in his testes? Therefore, he couldn't have got her pregnant. So how did it happen? Esmile, please tell me, because I would like to know. And then there's this fetus growing, and so it flashes forward to we don't know if it's been a couple of days, a couple of hours, or a couple of months. The film doesn't explain this, whether it's been a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. You know, we don't know what time has passed. Oh no, it does explain, it's 2 weeks. It'll be back to 2 weeks. Yeah, it does. But then it does explain like how long the pregnancy actually goes on after this. Could be like 1 day, it could be a month. Doesn't really explain. It's confusing. And then she's drinking some blood. Okay, obviously this fetus wants blood. And she's convinced it's a boy. I still don't know how he got pregnant, so I'm still puzzled over this, but it's part of the film. And she wants Jacob, she doesn't want Edward. Edward's telling her to get rid of it. He tells her, he actually literally says, Carla will get that thing out of you. That thing. This is basically promoting abortion and teenage pregnancy in one go. It's promoting teenage sex, teenage pregnancy, and teenage abortion. In a nutshell. That is what, you know, it promotes. In some roundabout way. And as a teenage film, and Twilight, especially Twilight, it shouldn't be promoting these things. Teenagers, this is 12, sir? Shouldn't be promoting that. Or did it get a PG? I think it's a 12. Should not be promoting that. And then at the end, the baby's born. Because, you know, it breaks all her bones, which is horrible. And he you don't see it, but he eats the baby out of her. He bites it open, which is also horrible. And then she's dead. And surely she's dead now. So, and then he bites her. And he's got her venom inside her. That's the best bit of acting she did, by the way, when she was given birth. The act. Because trust me, the rest of it was shit. It was absolutely rubbish. The storyline makes no sense because he couldn't get her pregnant, so the rest of it's irrelevant because he couldn't get her pregnant. So that if she just died, then we have to have Breaking Dawn Part 2 in a roundabout kind of way. And then she becomes a vampire, which is also horrible. And there's Breaking Dawn Part 2, which is kind of probably the best one I've seen because it makes some plausible sense. she's back, you know. But the thing is, the moment he, there is something that I always find really weird when I watch the film. The moment he, Edward mentions, you need to hunt, she grabs the chest and goes, yeah, you need to hunt. And she's like, you won't. Bella, by the way, she gets super control over her thirst. She's a newborn. I want her from Eclipse. Newborns have that uncontrollable thirst. Even Jasper, he can't control his thirst. I've seen a new moon, he can't control it. When she cuts her arm, he goes insane. How on earth? She's you know. And then there's this Renesmee, by the way. She's very, very creepy. She's CGI, very creepy, incredibly creepy. I know her eyes. Seriously, they're like that. You know, they're not blue. They're brown, I think. Yeah. And she grows very quickly. But then this is a bit also they don't explain how long she's been growing for. I think if you read the book, but I'm basing this on the films do not explain at all how long it's been since she was born and how quickly she's growing. Bella says time is only, but she doesn't say that how long it's been. That's also another thing with the films. They're all narrated. I'll get to that later as an overview. So it doesn't explain that. So you don't know how long she's been growing for. And then then Irina, she sees Renesmee catching snowflakes, and she thinks she's an immortal child. By the way, they're created as a baby and they can't die, and they're frozen as babies, which is odd in itself, but plausible. And then they find out, and you know, obviously Carlisle goes on from this, they talk about it, and then they find all these witnesses. Alice and Jasper disappear, which I didn't understand the first time. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Honestly, I didn't know what happened. They just disappeared. I thought Alice was daft for some reason when I first saw that. Didn't get it. Stopped watching. Well, I didn't stop watching, but I thought I needed to stop watching after that because what is going on. Oh yeah, and another thing with this film, Jacob imprints on Renesmee at the beginning. Also, it might actually be the end of the. Hang on, I'll get to that in a minute. I think I missed that out. Yeah, because back at the beginning of the film, which I should have said earlier, Jacob imprints on Renesmee, which basically means he'll be with her when she grows up. They'll be bagging each other, and she's a baby, she's a newborn, and he's imprinting on her, which is fucking disgusting in itself. She's a newborn, that's basically pedophilia. Back to where I was, sorry about that. And then they collect all these witnesses, and all these vampires can do all this magical stuff, which I don't get either. And I also don't get why Renesmee's got super intelligence and can speak 20 languages. Which this isn't explaining to him why she can. Oh, I get she's a vampire, human hybrid. But where all this Bella's not that smart. You know, Bella's pretty dumb. That's explained because she's with Edward. Anyway, but yeah, so that's a bit odd. And then at the end they are on like a battlefield, and when Arrow sees Renesmee, he goes all crazy because he's nuts. And you know, she shows him she was born, not been. But obviously he doesn't believe her, so Alice comes along, you know, shows her the vision, shows her something and says something like that. And there's this big battle, and I'm thinking, oh, this is brilliant, like, this is the first time I watched it, I'm thinking, this is brilliant, this is an amazing battle. It's always good as a battle of Hogwarts. I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is always good as a battle of Hogwarts. This is pretty good, you know, people are dying. And then there's on a vision. I actually went, what the fuck is going on here? I did not just waste 20 minutes of my life on that. I couldn't believe it was a bloody vision. I was like so pissed off. So there's no consequences for anyone then, no? Like Arrow, he's like, just bugger off, because they don't have a battle and die, get their heads ripped off, you know, which is, they shouldn't have done, because Arrow's a cunt. Well, he's not a cunt, he's a bit weird, he's a weird villain, to be perfectly honest with you, because in the second film he says he won't kill Edward, so he's not, he'll kill people, he won't kill Edward, which I do not understand, which is why Edward was going to spark himself and Bella was going to save him. Yeah, and then they all back were at the Carlisle house, or the Cullen house, sorry, and Alice having a vision of Jacob and Renesmee grown up, which is fucked up anyway, because he's older than he's like 17 years older than her, even though she's going to age really quickly. Although it is explained in the battle, before the battle, that after the battle, that because they have brings up a hybrid, that after 7 years she'll reach physical maturity, and that she's not dangerous, and there's something else, but I can't. He's like 107. He stopped aging at 17. It is explained about what happens with Renesmee, but I still don't understand it. To be perfectly honest with you, it's a bit weird. I don't understand how he got her pregnant in the first place. I don't understand Renesmee, how she will work. Like most of the robots. But yeah, I don't. And then there's a little happy bit at the end. And the thing is, there's no consequences from battle. No one dies. So there's not any. I'm not going to compare it to Harry Potter. It's not a fan. I don't want to, but I'm going to do. There's no consequences in Twilight when because the battle just happens, so no one dies. So there's no consequences for anyone. Because in a battle, like everyone dies. I think like Carlisle, Esme, Alice, Jasper. I think Edward dies. I think Rosalie. They think they all die. I think possibly Bella would survive. No, Bella and Edward survived. Everyone would die, I think. Yeah. Yeah. There's no consequences for anyone, because like I think for the whole series, like 2 people die. That's it. And in Harry Potter, people do die, which is sad, but it makes fucking sense, because people, when you have them fights, people are meant to die, and if you want a story to have consequences for people, you've got to have something that gives consequences. You've got to have something like death, or very tragic circumstances like death, usually. I'm going to get into Bella in a minute, like properly. She's the mercy, so yeah, that. But in an overview of the films, the acting is awful. Kirsten Stewart never closes her mouth, which I said earlier. Robert Pattinson just doesn't give it anything because he hates Twilight. He's admitted he hates it. He doesn't like Twilight. He admitted that he would, if he hadn't been in the film or seen the films or the books, he would just mindlessly hate it. So his acting was rubbish. All the Cullens do is kind of stand around staring at people, accepting shit that they shouldn't accept. So that's kind of crap. In an overview, the story makes no kind of sense. I mean, I get parts of it. I do get parts of it. But the Edward Bella makes no sense because he's an abusive asshole and she's a dumb fuck. Okay, they do belong together in that sense, but Jacob and Renesmee disgusts me in so many ways. It disgusts the fuck out of me. Honestly, nothing has disgusted me more than that. So, yes. Yeah. Honestly, nothing has disgusted me more. That's about it, really. So far, I've run it for ages and not sounding like what I was talking about. But, you know, the story, it could have been a good series if she'd, if she'd made sense, if she hadn't left massive plot holes everywhere. If they'd got better actors. I think if Kirsten Stewart had been played by Kirsten Stewart in not in the films and Bella had been played by someone else, maybe she would have been better. But then Bella's a stupid character anyway, and I'll get to her in a minute. So thanks for listening for this bit. I'm gonna do a Bella Edward kind of character write in another video, but I'm gonna do it like now. Thanks for watching. By the way, I did know it was like 2 years after it's finished, but I've only kind of just decided I was going to watch it. I've always kind of hated it because I'm a Harry Potter fan. I kind of minded it, so I decided to know what I was kind of hating on, kind of thing, you know what I mean? No? And so I decided to what I was hating on, so I decided to watch it. And I was, if I had paid to see this, as I said before, I would not be happy, to be honest. I do like watching Twilight sucks videos online to see how people ranting about it. There is this girl which I advise you watch. She's called Nutty Madam. She loves Twilight. I just advise you watch it because she's fucking hilarious. There's a video when Twilight's finished. Oh my god, you just type in Nutty Madam. Twilight is over. She's just hilarious. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Bye.